Yes, I am at 1.
Welcome to our coverage of the Sun Belt Conference Men's Golf Championships, live from the Raven, the Destin Golf and Beach Resort near Miramar Beach, Florida. We apologize for a little bit of our late start this morning, technical difficulties, but we hope everything's worked out, and we are on the fairway at number 1, and that is States Ford of Coastal Carolina. Put his tee shot into the bunker here at 1, and having to come out of the bunker for his second to this green, and a nice saving shot there as he'll have that remaining for birdie as his pin is back left here, and you already get a chance to see how the wind is blowing a little bit this morning here at the Raven Golf Club. Back out on the number 1 fairway, and this is Thibaut Santini of UL Monroe, ULM, on the number 1 fairway. Sophomore from Paris, France, making his second appearance in the conference tournament, tied for 13th last year. Here hitting in the number 1 fairway, hit his drive right in the middle here at the first. First is playing at 389 yards today, and as we said, with that pin in the back left, and Santini's second shot is going to go after that back pin, and it goes too long, and he's going to be in the back bunker here at number 1 and does not have a lot of green to work with from there. We'll go back out in the fairway. Brooks Rayburn of South Alabama had a big tee shot, just has this little short iron into the green, trying to stop it, and he's also in that back bunker. That bunker is going to catch a lot of shots today, with number 1 playing downwind after the dog leg, plus with that pin in the far back corner. So our first group of the day is surrounding the number 1 green. 1 ball on the green and 1 birdie putt from this first group. The number 5 players for Coastal Carolina, South Alabama, and ULM making their way up to the tee. If you're just joining us, welcome to coverage of the Sun Belt Conference Men's Golf Championships. We'll have coverage both to start out at both the numbers 1 and 10 tee as soon as we get those going, and we're going to go over to number 10 right now, and our first group is in the fairway, and this is Troy's Mac Murphy, 5'10" freshman from Decatur, Alabama. Hit his second shot here on the number 10 green, and he's found the putting surface, so he'll have that, whether that is his third shot, and now he'll have that left for par. This number 10, par 4, playing at 379 yards today, and again you see it playing very much downwind. Mac Murphy of Troy playing in a group with Jack Tolson of Louisiana and Candler Rice of Appalachian State. They're the first groups, the number 5 players for their 3 teams, making their way up to the green here at number 10. The green's in the back today, right in the middle, but it's in the back location. Go back over to number 1, and this is out of the bunker. Both South Alabama's Brooks Rayburn and ULM's Thibaut Santini both in the bunker. This is Santini who will be first to hit. Was second on the ULM squad in this tournament last year when he shot 4 over 217. Played for 4 years at the ISP Academy in Paris before coming to ULM. He's a sophomore. Averaged 73.54 last year. As you see, this is a pretty good out from that location. The players don't have a lot of green to work with. He'll have that left for his par here at the first. We'll go back over to number 10. This is Louisiana's Jack Tolson, who is right next to the cart path, and I don't know if they're going to try to find a ruling there or not. The cart path might be interfering his swing, and he may have to take a drop from that location. Tolson normally plays higher in the lineup. The Louisiana squad flipping their lineup a little bit. Tolson has an individual win already this year. The sophomore from Lafayette won the Lake Charles Intercollegiate earlier this season. Tied the school record there with his overall scoring. 67, 66, 68 in that tournament for a 15 under par, 201 score. You see he's taking a drop away from the cart path as his ball did come to rest on the cart path. He get a free one from the concrete, so Tolson will be hitting his third shot here. This is the first group of our players starting on the number 10 hole. Number 10 playing at 379, and as we said, that pin in the back middle, as you see on the far side, getting ready to hit out of the bunker. This is Candler Rice of Appalachian State with his third shot here. Rice, a freshman from Asheville, North Carolina, has that left for par as he found the bunker with his second shot. Now we'll go back to Tolson, who will be hitting his third. As we go all around the course here at the Raven to bring you this coverage. On the number 1 tee, the second group of the day, just leaving the tee box. That's Morgan Deneen of Coastal Carolina, Peter Stalbo of South Alabama, and Hogan Airy of UL Monroe. And they're headed down to the fairway as we go to the number 1 green. Top right of your screen, and you see Brooks Rabin about to putt. Jack Tolson of Louisiana hitting his third shot, going well past the pin, so he'll have that left for a tough par. Rabin makes his par putt out of the bunker at number 1. And back up on top right at the first green. This will be Santini trying to save his par out of the bunker. We'll go over to number 10. Jack Tolson of Louisiana in the red shirt. Candler Rice just out of your screen on the right side. Both will have par putts here, as both missed the green and trying to scramble for pars at the first hole. Tolson averaged 74.03 per year. We're going back over quickly to number 1, and this is States Fort of Coastal Carolina with his par putt. Ran his first one about 5 feet past, trying to save par here. He's going to slide that by, and States Fort still has some work to do for bogey here at the first hole. He was the only player to find the green here at number 1 with his second shot on the par 4. But needs this for a 3-putt bogey. So Fort makes the bogey putt here at number 1. Back over to the number 10 green. That was Mac Murphy with his par putt, and he's left himself a lot of work still to do for bogey here as he ran that past. Just underway here from the Raven Golf Course at Sandestin with the first round of the men's golf championships here in the Sun Belt. First of 3 days of medal play. So we go back to number 1. And our second group of the day. This is Hogan Airy of ULM, hitting from the number 1 fairway, hitting right at you, our location right behind the number 1 green. Pin is back left here at number 1. And this one's going to come in, find the center of the green. Hogan Airy will have a birdie putt here at the first. Go back to number 10. And an opening bogey for Mac Murphy of Troy. Now Jack Tolson will have this for bogey after going over on his second shot, having to play it from behind the cart path for his third, and hit his putt well past. That one's going to come up short. As go back to number 1. This is South Alabama's Peter Stalbo. All 3 players finding the green here in this group here at number 1. Morgan Deneen of Coastal Carolina previously hit, as that was Peter Stalbo's shot. Hogan Airy you saw just a minute ago. Back to the 10th hole, and this is Candler Rice of Appalachian State with his par putt that slides by. So Rice will take a bogey here at the first, and a struggle at the start for this group of 3, leading the way here at the 10th hole. We'll go back up to number 1 in our second group of the day, making its way to the green. And now we'll go back to number 10. This is our second group of the day here. Walter Brinker of Appalachian State, the junior from Sanford, North Carolina, making his second appearance in the Sun Belt Championships, tied for 50th last year individually. His second shot from the fairway. And his wedge is going to go a little over, but spins it back some. He'll be just off the fringe, putting up at this back location, back middle for the pin here at number 10. So Brinker with a birdie putt back down the fairway. This is Tristan Elston of Louisiana, junior from Baton Rouge, playing in the conference championships for the 3rd straight year. 74.2 stroke average during the season. Had his low round of 68 at the Louisville Cardinal Invitational. His second shot wedge is going to come onto the putting surface, and it's going to slide back down the hill. He'll have a long run at his birdie. At the number 1 tee, our third groupings of the day. This will be Coastal Carolina's Daniel Overas from Vestens, Norway, a junior. 73.86 stroke average this year. Making his first appearance in the conference tournament in his 3rd year as part of the Coastal program.
From South Alabama, Jason.
And at the same time, we'll go over to the number 10 tee, and this will be our third group of the day. Going off number 10, this is Troy's Ike Alexander, freshman from Florence, Alabama, making his first ever appearance in the conference tournament. 75.78 stroke average this year. That ranks him 4th on the team in 27 rounds, fall and spring. Had a low round of 70 during the year. Back to number 1. And this is the birdie putt of Peter Stalbo of South Alabama. Misses that one to the left, and he'll have that a little bit more than a tap in for par here at the first. So Stalbo makes his par. As you see all around the course, top left of your screen, this is Max Catherine of UL Monroe hitting his tee shot at the first. Bottom left of your screen, this will be Bjorn Gudjonsen of Louisiana, about to tee off on number 10. Top right on the green, birdie putt attempt, rolls just past for Morgan Deneen. And he'll settle for par. And bottom right of your screen, Tristan Elston of Louisiana, about to have his long birdie putt as his teammate Gudjonsen just hit his tee shot on number 10 out to the right. And our third player of this group on the number 10 tee, bottom left of your screen, Chance Watson, Jr. from Newland, North Carolina. Saving par putt for Hogan Airy, top right of your screen of ULM. Here on the first. And that group will head on to the number 2 tee as we'll go to the number 10 tee. Chance Watson making his third appearance in the conference championships. Has a low round this year, 69. Had that at the Phoenix Invitational. Back to the number 10 green. Tristan Elston of Louisiana has this long one for birdie. Elston was short with his approach shot. Had 7 rounds of par or better this year. Best finish was a tie for 13th at the Sam Hall Intercollegiate. Leaves this one out to the right. Pretty good speed on it. He'll have about 3 or 4 feet left to save par here at the 10th. Elston's best finish in the conference tournament, tied for 37th last year. As we'll go back behind the green. This is Connor Futrell of Troy, freshman from Tallahassee, Florida, 75.08 stroke average. That was second on the team. Runs this one just past the right edge, and he'll have a couple feet left coming back for his par here at the 10th. Check that. That was Walter Brinker hitting his putt, and Connor Futrell now will be putting. That's Futrell in the Cardinal colored shirt, as it was Walter Brinker from the back edge of the green who just burned the right side and will have a short one left for par. This will be for a opening birdie for Futrell, who was in the fairway and hit his approach shot to that location. These are the number 4 groups of these 3 schools, just beginning play at number 10, and you see in the background the number 3s are headed down toward their drives. Futrell with the birdie putt, slides it by the right side and rolls a good bit past. He'll have a little bit more than 3 feet left to save par here now at the 10th. Elston will be putting when we come back, but right now let's go out to the number 1 fairway. This is Daniel Overus, junior from Coastal Carolina. .86 stroke average this year. 8 rounds of par or better during the season, as his approach shot's going to catch and back up, and he's going to have only about 3 or 4 feet left for our first birdie of the day here at number 1. So a nice shot from Daniel Overus as Tristan Elston's par putt here at 10 slides by the left lip, and he's still got some work to do coming back for bogey. A tough start for Elston in his 3rd conference tournament, as we'll go back to the number 1 fairway. Rasmus Carlson of South Alabama, sophomore from Fiskars, Finland. His 2nd appearance in the conference championships. He tied for 28th here last year. Shot 8 over 221. Started out with a nice 72 last year. Carlson with his approach shot here at number 1. That's going to go long, and that's going to hit back in the back bunker on the fly, and we'll have to check and see what kind of lie that Rasmus Carlson of South Alabama has. As quickly back to the number 10 green, and Tristan Elston has this to save bogey. Rolls that one in. But a 3-putt bogey for Elston. Back to number 1. Second shot from Max Catherine of ULM comes up short, and he'll have that left for a birdie. Daniel Overs's ball right there close to the hole at number 1. At number 10, Walter Brinker trying to clean up and save par for Appalachian State. Brinker 75.94 this year's stroke average. He is 5th on the team. Makes his par, and Connor Futrell of Troy will be trying to do the same thing. Ran a birdie putt pretty well by. He's got about 4 feet left for par on his opening hole. Futrell's going to back off and take one more look at it as quickly we go back to the number 1 tee. Thad O'Beckney of Coastal Carolina tied for 35th in last year's tournament with his tee shot on number 1. Quickly back to number 10 as Futrell rams in his par putt. And this group will head over to number 11 as we will go back to the number 10 tee. This is Ike Alexander of Troy at the number 10 tee, freshman from Florence, Alabama. Back to number 1.
On the tee from ULM,
Rasmus Carlson of South Alabama with his tee shot. And now Guillaume Fananel of UL Monroe with his first shot here at the first hole. 389 yards, severe dog leg to the left. At the first green, top right of your screen, Jason Mendel of South Alabama, senior from Norcross, Georgia, has to come out of the bunker at the back, so he'll have that left for par. This is Chance Watson in the fairway for Appalachian State, bottom right of your screen. Johnson, 75.27 stroke average this year. His second shot's going to catch the right-hand side. Pin is located back middle here at the 10th, so he'll have a little work to do, but possible birdie here as under the fairway and just off the cart path. Bjorn Gudjonsson of Louisiana, sophomore from Mosfellsbar, Iceland. .74 stroke average, and he just has to play it up to the green after playing it over near the cart path. So he is there in 2, and out of the woods he'll have a chance to roll a birdie putt as the pin in the back middle location. And back to the number 10 tee. This is Dean Martin of Troy, junior from Johannesburg, South Africa. See him in the Cardinal shirt. 75.25 stroke average this year. That ranked him 3rd on the Troy team. Has a low round of 71 this year, and that came at the Tiger Invitational, where he finished 31st, his best individual finish. To the green at number 1. Jason Mendel trying to save par out of the bogey and rolls it just past the right lip rather. So Mendel with a bogey here at number 1 to start things off for South Alabama. Back to the 10 tee. Peter Hennett of Louisiana, freshman from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. 75.58 stroke average. Starts his tee shot out to the left.
Appalachian State, Alex Burris.
Third member of this group from Appalachian State is Alex Burris, junior from Greensboro, North Carolina. 74.11 stroke average this year. He's 2nd on the Appalachian State team through 10 tournaments and 28 rounds. Had a 65 earlier this year at the Wofford Invitational, where he tied the school record for a single round, and after a low of 67 during the fall. So Alex Burris with his tee shot, and his group will be headed down the fairway. Rolling in a par putt at number 1 is Max Catherine of ULM. And Daniel Overus of Coastal Carolina had a shot at a birdie. He'll have this little bit of work left for par. And our number 3 group will head over to number 2 as we'll go back to number 10. And Bjorn Gudjonsson of Louisiana will have this for par after having to play low out of the trees. See his individual finish this year. Louisiana with 2 of the top 3 finishers in that Lake Charles Invitational. Gudjonsson finished 3rd there as we'll go back to number 1. This is Luis Ruiz of Coastal Carolina with a nice shot in here, and he'll have that left for a birdie. On 10, Gudjonsson's par putt is going to slide by the left lip and go well on by, and he'll have about a 4-footer left for double here at the 10th. Back to number 1. Guillaume Fananel of ULM, sophomore from Lyon, France. Tied for 6th individually in last year's conference championships, 69 in the last round to finish at 215 and led the ULM team. But his second shot comes up well short here, this back left location, and now rolling back down, so he'll have that left. Tough up and down for par here at the first. Chance Watson of Appalachian State catches the pin with his birdie putt. Rolls it well on past as in the first fairway, Rasmus Carlson of South Alabama. Nice approach with his third shot, and he'll have about 6 feet left for par. You see the wind still blowing here at the Raven. So we go back out to the number 10 green. This is Ike Alexander of Troy. Has this left to save par. And Alexander rolls that one in toward his par here at the 10th. And we'll go back to the number 1 tee. And our final groups representing Coastal Carolina, South Alabama, and ULM. This is Luis Ruiz of Coastal Carolina. Tied for the individual honors last year in this tournament. Lost in the playoffs, so officially he goes down as tied for second. He led the team in stroke average with a 73.64 last year. He's improved on that. He's at 72.87 this year. And Ruiz's tee shot off to the left, maybe trying to cut a little bit off of the dog leg. These are the number 1 players for these 3 schools, and Yannick Schutz of South Alabama will stand in. A sophomore from Friolsheim, Germany. As we'll go all around the course, that's Schutz hitting his tee shot in the top left corner. Using the driver,
On the tee from ULM, we have Joe.
Trying to cut some distance. As up near the number 1 green, this will be Guillaume Fananel, who came up well short with his second shot. Top right of your screen, has to chip up to this back hole location, rolls just past, and he'll have that left for par at the first. Back up to the first tee.
Play well, gentlemen.
Joe Garau of UL Monroe, sophomore from Lisbon, Portugal. His name is spelled J-O-A-O, but he pronounces it Joe. Go back to the number 10 fairway at the bottom right of your screen.
Oh, really?
That was Alex Burris of, yes, it was Alex Burris of Troy, of Appalachian State, with his approach shot here at the 10th. On the number 1 green, Thad O'Beckney of Coastal Carolina with his birdie putt, and that's going to slide right by the right lip. It's quickly back over to number 10, Dean Martin of Troy with his second shot. It's going to go a little past the green, gets a little bit of a roll back, and he'll be handy for his up and down for par. This is back over at number 10, and this is Peter Hennett of Louisiana, having to play out of the pine straw near the pine trees here with his second shot. Freshman from Winston-Salem. Has a low round of 70 this year, and that came at the Warrior Princeville Mackay tournament in Kauai. has to just punch it out for his second, and will play that for his third as we go back quickly to number 1. And Fananel of ULM has his par putt slide by. He'll have some work to do for bogey as Rasmus Carlson will be trying to save par here for the Jaguars. Sophomore from Fiskars, Finland, played as a freshman last year in this tournament, tied for 28th, 72, 74, 75 in that tournament here at the Raven. Carlson's putt just burns the left lip. As we go back up to the number 10 tee. This will be the number 1 players for Troy, Louisiana, and Appalachian State. Not Dean Martin, Callum Masters, veteran of this tournament, tied for 6th last year, tied for 2nd 2 years ago when he shot 3 under 210. Junior from Headland, Alabama. Back to number 1 as Fananel runs in his saving par putt.
From Louisiana, Cole Kendrick.
Back to the number 10 tee. This is Cole Kendrick of Louisiana, freshman from Natchitoches. On the 1 green, Thad O'Beckney of Coastal Carolina, saving par at the first after having a birdie putt slide by. Back to number 10. This is Kendrick with his tee shot. And the third member of this group, Trip Summerlin of Appalachian State. Sophomore from Summerfield, North Carolina, 73.64 stroke average this year. He's got a win already this year. He won the Patriot Invitational back in the fall, the Patriot Intercollegiate. He also had a 67 in that round, had another 67 in the spring at the Stitch Intercollegiate. Shot 209 at the Patriot Tournament to win the individual title there. Back to the number 10 green. This is on tape as the third shot for Peter Hennett, who was in the woods and had to punch out, hitting his third up and rolling it up very nicely. So Hennett will have only about 4 feet maybe to save par here at the first out of the pine trees on the left side. Back in the first fairway, this is Luis Ruiz of Coastal Carolina. His second shot in to this back location. He's going to roll it over there a little closer. He'll have that left for a birdie to start things off. Back to number 10. This is Dean Martin of Troy playing off the back fringe. This is going to come up a little bit short, but he'll have that for par. Joe Garral of ULM, who's found the bunker behind the green here at number 1. Back over to number 10. And the birdie putt of Alex Burris, junior from Greensboro, 74.11 stroke average, ranked 2nd on the team. Talked about his win earlier this year. That's when he had that 205 score. And his birdie putt just slides by the right side. He'll have a tap-in par here at the 10th. Troy's Dean Martin will have about 3 feet left for par. Just about the same for Peter Hennett of Louisiana, as both of them trying to start off with pars here at the 10th. Hennett will be the first to hit. Low round of 70, as we said this year at the Warrior Princeville Mackay tournament that was played in Kauai. And runs that one by the right side, and a disappointing bogey for Hennett here at the 10th. As we go back to number 1. And our first look at the Arkansas State squad. Matthew Cole, sophomore from Fayetteville. Second appearance in the conference tournament, hitting an iron off the number 1 tee. Next up, Louis Acapulco. Alacolpi, rather, sophomore from Valdosta, Georgia. 74.30 stroke average. You see him in the top left of your screen. Top right, behind the green, just getting it out, is Corral of ULM. And he'll still have some scrambling to do for par. Top left of your screen, Nathan Williams of Georgia State, hitting his tee ball at number 1. Williams, a junior from Gainesville, Georgia. Back out to the fairway at number 10 on the bottom right of your screen. It's Tripp Summerlin of Appalachian State. His approach shot just off the back edge. Caleb Masters of Troy, bottom right of your screen. Junior, just avoiding the pine trees, which are prevalent here at the Raven, line many of the holes here on this course. Masters on the bottom right has 2 top 6 finishes already in conference play, and looking for a third here in his junior season. Punches this one up. Pretty nice shot from there, but it's going to roll well past, and he'll have to scramble up and down here at the 10th. Back up to the top right of your screen. This is Ruiz's birdie putt for Coastal Carolina, and it's going to stay out to the right. And he'll have tap in there for par. Back to the 10th. This is Cole Kendrick of Louisiana with his second shot. Players are playing lift, clean, and place today because of some rain overnight. Kendrick's second shot is going to find the back fringe. So he'll have a putt at a long birdie putt, or a chance at a long birdie putt off the fringe here at the 10th. Number 10 hole, pretty much straight away. Not a lot of trouble on the 10th. Pin is in the back middle, so players can pretty much take a run at it. And back to the number 1 green, Joe Giroux, who just was able to punch it out of the bunker to that location, and he has this for his par. Has that one slide by, and he'll have that left for birdie at the first. Over to the 10th. First look at 3 new teams as UT Arlington's Jake Greenspoon, senior from Houston, leads things off for the Mavericks, making his 3rd appearance in the conference tournament. Did not play last year, but played in both 2015 and 2016. And we'll go back behind the number 1 green. And now we'll go to number 1 as Joe Giroux finishes off his putt there. And just a little short putt left for Luis Ruiz there. Behind the number 10 green, Caleb Masters. His second shot went well past, and he has this up and down left. Back to the number 10 tee. This is Logan Pate of Little Rock. Sophomore from Richmond, Texas, number 2 man in this threesome, as Inigo Benarin of Texas State just about to hit his first tee shot here. The sophomore from San Sebastian, Spain for Texas State. Back to 10 green. This is Caleb Masters from behind the green. Nice touch on that. Comes up about 4 or 5 feet short. He'll have that left for par. At the tee, this is Benarin. 75.89 stroke average, playing in just his 4th tournament of the year. In the number 1 fairway. I think that was Nathan Williams of Georgia State. We'll have to wait and check and see when he does make his way up, but nice touch coming in with the second shot. He'll have about 6 feet left as we go back to the 10th. And Cole Kendrick of Louisiana will be putting from off the fringe. The final group of the schools includes Troy, Louisiana, and Appalachian State. Actually, looks like it'll be Trip Summerlin from Appalachian State who'll be first to hit, and you see him with ball in hand. A reminder, the players are playing lift clean in place here because of the wet conditions. Shouldn't be any more threat of rain here today at the Raven, but had some earlier rain, so players are getting ball in hand as Summerlin has this. Hit his second shot just back off the back edge. Led the App State team with a 73.64 stroke average and just past the right edge. And he'll have tap in here for par. Back in the number 1 fairway, Matthew Cole of Arkansas State. And nice shot there. 3 nice shots in here, and have a lot of birdie putts here at number 1 for this first group of our teams that are seeded 1, 2, and 3 coming into the tournament. That's why they are paired together. Back to the number 1 tee and our number 4 players for these three schools. Back to 10 and a birdie putt lipping out. I think it was from Cole Kendrick of Louisiana. Yep, and that was off the back fringe. He'll tap that in for par as Jacob Barres of Arkansas State hitting his first shot off the number 1 tee junior from the Czech Republic.
Georgia Southern, Jacob
Played at Indian Hills Community College in Iowa before coming to Arkansas State. He has a 73.7 stroke average this year. This will be Jacob Beyer of Georgia Southern. Freshman from Lawrenceville, Georgia. 75.52 stroke average this year, ranked 6th on the team, a low round of 69 this year. Beyer, one of the few left-handed players we've seen, did not have a left-hander at all in last week's Sunbelt Women's Tournament. Had a couple left-handers that have come through already today. As the number 3 player in this group, Josh Edgar of Georgia State. Sophomore from Gold Coast, Australia, as we'll go all around the numbers 1 and 10 holes here. Top left of your screen is Edgar. 75.0 stroke average for the Mavericks this year with a low round of 69 and 7 subpar rounds. A lot of birdie attempts here on the first hole, top right of your screen. First one's from Lucas Alaculpi of Georgia Southern, and got to push that one by the left lip. Bottom right of your screen in the 10th fairway, this is Jake Greenspoon of UTA, hitting his second shot. And he's going to go a little long and trickle off into the bunker on the backside. So have a little tricky shot from there. Not a lot of green to work with, as we'll go back to the number 1 green, and it's another birdie attempt. This one coming from Nathan Williams of Georgia State. 3 balls all handy here at the first by these groups, or this group. And Nathan Williams rolls in his birdie putt. First birdie of the day here at number 1. In the 10th fairway, Logan Pate of Little Rock. And it's going to find the front left of the putting surface. He'll have a little bit of a downhill run at the pin for a birdie attempt. Back to number 1. This is also a birdie try. Matthew Cole of Arkansas State. And he runs his in. So a couple of birdies out of this group. The number 5 players for A-State, Georgia State, and Georgia Southern. To the 10 tee. This will be Nick Thornton of UTA. First up to hit. Comes from a golfing family. His grandfather, Johnny Thornton, won the Southwest Conference Championship when he was playing at Baylor. Played there in 1954 and 1955. So he has a conference title already in his family tree, as rolling in his putt here at number 1 is Georgia Southern's Alaculpi, and he's got a par. His 2 playing partners both birdieing here at the 10th, at the first rather. And now we'll go back to the 10th hole, and this is Thornton. Thornton's actually a graduate student. He played at Baylor as an undergraduate and then transferred to UTA to play his graduate season. Product of Bourne, Texas. 74.14 stroke average this year with a low round of 68. Starting off on the number 10 tee as Daniel Durasic of Little Rock. Sophomore from Sungai Buloh, Malaysia. .86 stroke average for Daniel. And this is sophomore year. He averaged 74.0 as a freshman when he finished in the top 15 twice. Has a top 10 finish this year also. That came at Little Rock's own invitational tournament. It's his tee shot, and back at the number 10 green, this is the third shot up from Jake Greenspoon of UT Arlington. And he'll have that left for a par as we go back to the number 10 tee, and the third player in this group, Alvaro Carroll Estrems, junior from Barcelona, Spain, will get set to hit his tee shot, the third member of this group. At the first fairway, Josh Edgar of Georgia State with his second shot after hitting a big drive, and this one's going to roll well past, and he'll have that up and down left for par. At the 10th, this is Inigo Benarin of Texas State. He's got this left for par, or rather for trying to get up and down for par as he hit his second shot just off the back edge. We'll have a lot of shots off the back edge here at number 10 today, as the pin is only 8 paces off the back edge of this 45-yard deep green. And there's not really trouble right behind in the middle. Of course, the bunker on the left side that you see on your screen. Logan Pate's going to be the first to putt here from Little Rock, a sophomore from Richmond, Texas. 74.57 stroke average this year with a low round of 68. That came at the Border Olympics in Laredo. Long birdie putt attempt. Pretty good run at it, and a nice 2-putt likely for Pate to par his first hole. Back to the first. This is Jacob Beyer of Georgia Southern. And back behind the 10th. This is Benarin of Texas State, just sliding that one by from off the back edge. Nice effort as he'll finish off for a par. And we'll go back to the tee box. Arkansas State, Zanluka Stern, sophomore from Slovenia. Played in the conference championships last year, finished right in the middle of the pack. He tied for 25th at a 7 over 220 score.
Yep, ball. The tee from Georgia Southern, Jake Story.
Jake Story will be next to hit his tee ball here at the first. Jake was in a playoff for the individual conference championship last year. Ended up tying for second officially. He shot 210 and lost out in that playoff. In fact, his teammate Stephen Fisk won that playoff as Story has his tee ball on the way. The senior from Alnwick, England. Third member of this group, Severin Soleil of Georgia State, junior from Munich, Germany. 73.35 stroke average, ranked third on the team. He's got 8 subpar rounds this year. Also has a couple of top 10 finishes.
Very well, gentlemen.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll go down to the number 1 green, and this action just happening a moment ago. A little chip shot from Jacob Barres, who rolls it in for Arkansas State. Rolls in a birdie here at number 1 from off the green. So Barres with our second birdie of the day here at the first. Now we'll go back live to number 1, and this is Jacob Beyer, who will have this to try to save par. He was in the front of the green, on just off the front for his second shot, and you can see those flags in the background, how they're blowing. Still windy conditions today here at the Raven as Beyer slides this one by. And he'll have a couple feet coming back for bogey here at the first. Back out in the fairway, you see our next groups coming up. That's the number 3 players as we'll head over to the 10th. This is Daniel Durasic of Little Rock with his second shot, and it's going to go well off the back edge, going to roll down, but it'll stop short of that cart path back there, so he'll have a decent run at it. Pins in the back location here, so players, even if they're long, you're not in bad trouble here at the 10th today. Across the fairway, this is Alvaro Carol Estrams of Texas State, junior from Barcelona, 75.08 stroke average for the season. This is his first year at Texas State. He played his first 2 college years at Central Arkansas. This finish was a tie for 19th this year. His second shot's going to come up a little short. He'll have a long 2-putt par facing him. As back out in the fairway is Nick Thornton of UTA. Played at Baylor his undergraduate year. Now at UTA is his 1 year of graduate play. Back out in the fairway at number 1, Zanluca Stern of Arkansas State. With his second shot here at the first. It's going to come up just a little short, but he'll have a decent downhill putt, also downwind for a birdie here at the first. Back out in the fairway here at number 1. This is Severin Sollier of Georgia State, product of Munich, Germany, who transferred to Georgia State from Mississippi State. And nice shot for his second in there. Hole high, about 10 feet right. He'll have that for birdie. Trying to improve on his 73.35 stroke average this year. Third member of this group's Jake Story of Georgia Southern. Had a big drive here as Story with his second. And he's also close. So once again, 3 birdie putts here and nice shot by Story. He'll have only about 6 feet left for birdie to start things off. This was on tape. Nick Thornton of UTA with his second shot. Going to roll it in close, and he'll have a really good run here at only our second birdie of the day at the 10th hole. So Thornton is close with his second. As back to the tee. Aaron Ramos of Little Rock with his tee ball here on number 10.
And from Texas State, Calvin Ross.
And now Calvin Ross, sophomore from New Brunswick, Canada for Texas State. 74.0 stroke average, third on the team. Had a low round of 64 at the Price's Give 'em 5 Invitational. Back down to the number 10 green, Daniel Durasic of Little Rock. Was well long with his second. With a nice approach shot here, and he'll have only a few feet left to save par here at the 10th. Now trickling down the hill a little bit more than he would have hoped for his par putt. You can see how deep this number 10 green is. 45 yards from front to back, and gives a lot of different locations today, being played in the back middle, so players can pretty much fire at it without much concern with getting in trouble. That left-hand bunker hadn't come into play yet. Alvaro Carroll Estrems of Texas State, before he hits his putt. Long birdie putt here at the 10th for Estrems. Pretty good pace on it. It's going to stop just short. He'll have a tap-in par here at the 10th. At number 1, Severin Soller of Georgia State just missed his birdie putt, just a tap in for par. And now Zanluca Stern of Arkansas State with his run at a birdie. Number 1 hole is a big dogleg left. Some of the players able to cut off some distance. Stern runs his birdie putt pretty well past, and he'll have about 5 feet left for par. Quickly back to the 10th. And Daniel Durasic of Little Rock. Low round of 70 this year. That, as we said, came at the Border Olympics. And just pushed that one out to the right, and probably wasn't happy with that putt, and he'll have a work to do for par. Nick Thornton with a big bender left to right. As he's trying to save par. It doesn't look like it breaks that much if you look at it on your screen, but a lot more undulation than the picture makes it look. So, I mean, watch how far this putt will break left to right when Thornton hits it. And be able to roll it in from 6 feet, and he saves par here at the 10th. And you see he's happy about that one. You see that 10th hole pretty much straight on all the way and not a lot of trouble. If you hit a decent drive, it's narrow, but if you hit a decent drive, you can pretty much attack just about any pin location on the 10th green. Now, if you miss it, though, left, you can bring those pine trees into play. And miss it right, it has a lot of undulation over there, and you can get in big trouble because it slopes away from the fairway. But a T-ball in the fairway will give you a pretty good run at this green. If it's a very, very deep green. Today it's being played very much in the back, so that front bunker usually will not come into play, possibly the bunker on the left side, as Durasic will be trying to save par here, and rolls that one by, and now has even more than he started with, and that's going to keep rolling down that hill, and it's going to go all the way almost to the back edge. So now Durasic has this remaining for bogey, and it's about twice as long a putt as he had, maybe 3 times as long a putt as he had for par. And we talked about that undulation on this green. That's a great example of it there. So this is for a bogey for the sophomore from Malaysia. He's going to swing that one by, and now he has almost his original par putt coming back for double bogey. So disappointing start for Daniel Durasic of Little Rock. In the 1 fairway, that's Joel Wyndon of Arkansas State, who was lining up his shot in the group with Stephen Fisk of Georgia Southern and Max Herman of Georgia State back to the 10th. And Durasic rolls in the double bogey putt. Disappointing start for him here at the 10th hole. In the fairway at number 1 is Joel Wyndon. We're going to take a look at the first hole. Big dog leg to the left, and that bunker right at the dog leg catches a lot of shots. You'll get a chance to see it on our flyover here. You see that big yawning bunker on the left side, but if you can get past or just to the side of that, big hitters can possibly go over it. Those who do will have just a short wedge shot coming into the green, and today's green playing to the back left, so that back bunker that you saw right there, huge on your screen, will definitely come into play, as this is Joel Wyndon of Arkansas State. His 3rd appearance here in the conference tournament. Hit a iron off the tee, so he has had a lot more to come in, but look at that shot coming in, and he'll have only about 10 feet left for a birdie after almost laying up off the tee. Now you see how far the other 2 balls are. Stephen Fisk of Georgia Southern and Max Herman of Georgia State. They both hit driver here at number 1. Stephen Fisk in the shorts had probably the best round of, he is the defending individual champion, had probably the best round of anybody in the Sun Belt Conference this year when he had a 60 in the opening round of the Kauai tournament, the Warrior Princeville Mackay tournament. I had a chance to see a little bit of that round, and he had a putt on his final hole, a makeable birdie putt for 59. But this is Max Herman, who is just about to hit, though. But before that, we're going to go back out to 10, and the approach shots from, looks like Aaron Ramos of Little Rock. Back to 1. This is Max Herman of Georgia State. His approach to the back of the green. He'll have an uphill run at a birdie. And now Stephen Fisk of Georgia Southern. Both of these guys hit big drives here at number 1. Fisk, we're talking about that 60 he had at the Princeville Mackay tournament in Kauai back in the fall. He had a makeable birdie putt on his final hole that could have given him a 59. Ended up two-putting the last hole for 60. He also parred a par 5 on his next to last hole. So he had a couple of shots at that magic 59. As his second shot here, though, is going to come up well short, and he's got a long two-putt looking at him here on the first hole. At the number 10 tee, this is Diego Lobo of Little Rock, freshman from Marcelo, Brazil. Happy with his tee shot. This is the next to last group from these schools here on the 10th, as Logan Lockwood of Texas State is the third player to hit in this group. Logan, a sophomore from Van, Texas. Tied for 44th in last year's conference tournament. Had a nice 72 in the first round. Par here at the Raven is 71, so he was one over in the first round, but then struggled in the last two rounds. 73.07 stroke average this year, though, is best on the Texas State team as he hits his tee shot here at the first. Our next to last group off the 10 tee is on its way down the number 10 fairway. We'll go to the number 1 tee. Tanner Napier of Arkansas State in the last group, representing Arkansas State, Georgia Southern, and Georgia State. This is Archer Price of Georgia Southern. Archer making his 4th appearance in the conference tournament. Tied for 21st as a freshman in 2015. Tied for 12th in 2016 as a sophomore. And broke into the top 10 last year. Tied for 10th with a 3 over 216 score. And it's a big drive here, and watching it all the way, and if that's in play, he's not going to have very much going in for his approach shot. Nick Budd of Georgia State, junior from Woodstock, Georgia, in his 3rd Sun Belt tournament appearance. Tied for 10th last year, had very solid rounds, 71, 72, 73 last season when he was a all Sun Belt pick. Won the North Carolina Greensboro Championship last year. He's got a couple of top 10s this year. Back to the 1 green, and this is Stephen Fisk of Georgia Southern, who was well down in the front. This is for birdie, a long way from the front of this green. Pin is only 6 steps on from the back edge. 34-yard deep green. Fisk putt is going to slide just past the right lip and go about 4 feet past, so he'll have that left for par here at his first hole. Max Herman in the off the back of the green, or right on the back edge of the green. He's on the putting surface. He has this for a birdie. The senior from Worthsee, Germany, was our individual champion in 2016. Won the conference individual title. This putt's going to come up just short and to the left. He'll have a tap-in par. Struggled last year, though. Finished 59th here, 81, 80, 79. That was 30 strokes higher than his score from 2016 when he won the individual championship. So Joel Wyndon of Arkansas State will have this for a birdie. Hit an iron off the tee, but then had a nice second shot to this location. Wyndon's birdie putt on the way. It's going to stay out to the left. And just a little bit of a misread there. He'll have just a tap in for par. It's our next to last group on the green. We'll go over to the 10th. And a saving par putt for Calvin Ross of Texas State. Now Aaron Guanlau of UT Arlington making his 4th appearance in the conference tournament. And he's had a couple of top 10s. He tied for 8th in both his freshman and sophomore years, 2015, 2016. Tied for 21st last year. So we'll go back to number 1. And a par putt for Stephen Fisk of Georgia Southern. Rolls that in, saves par here from the very front of the green at number 1. And pretty much just tap-ins left for Joel Wyndon of Arkansas State. And Max Herman of Georgia State. To number 10. This is Calvin Ross of Texas State. Found the pine trees and the pine straw as quickly to number 1. Tap in for par and back to 10 as rolling it up on is Calvin Ross from way over in the pine trees. This is going to turn out to be a pretty good shot from where he was. He'll have a long putt left for birdie, but he's found the putting surface from under the pine trees. It's our final group here on number 10 for right now. Is back out in the middle of the fairway, Aaron Ramos of Little Rock, freshman from Goodyear, Arizona. And his second shot coming in, checking up, or spinning back a little bit down the hill. So he'll also have pretty good distance to cover for his birdie here. But back to number 1 and our final group on the fairway. This is Tanner Napier of Arkansas State, senior from Paris, Texas. Also making his 4th conference tournament appearance. Tied for 6th last year with a 2 over 215 score, best score on Arkansas State's team. And he tied for 4th the previous year, 2016. So he's had a couple of top 6 finishes here at the Raven. Shot 212 in that tournament here in 2016. Napier's second shot in here is a good one. Rolls it up. Good distance on that one. Used the wind, and he only has about 3 feet left for birdie. Back to the 10th fairway, and Paul Gonzalez of UT Arlington. Freshman from Waxahachie, Texas, 74.14 stroke average this year. Back to number 1, shot in the fairway from. Now back to Paul Gonzalez at number 10 with his 3rd shot in, and it's going to roll back to the back of the green. Actually, 2nd shot in after a big drive. At number 1, this is Archer Price of Georgia Southern. After he also had a big drive. And again, we got 3 birdie putts here on number 1. Players not having very much trouble finding the putting surface and finding the flag location. So we'll go to the number 10 tee, and this is our final group here at number 10, and this is Tanner Gore of UT Arlington. Junior from El Paso, Texas, 73.97 stroke average this year, 7 rounds of par or better. taking an iron to keep it in play on this narrow number 10 fairway. As come down to the number 10 green, and looking right at you is Logan Lockwood of Texas State. Has this long birdie putt. Sophomore from Van, Texas. Averaged 73.20 in the regular season. Second on the Bobcat team. He had an individual win this year. He won the James S. Litz Memorial Tournament against a 54-hole field. He shot 70, 69, 74. His birdie putt's going to come up a little short, going to break away at the last few feet. Lockwood will have about 3 feet left for par at the 10th. Justin Warren of Little Rock just hit his tee ball here at the 10th. And the junior from Picton, Australia, wasn't very happy with where that one went. We'll have to see where his ball wound up. And third member of this group, Logan Davis of Texas State, junior from Humble, Texas, leads Texas State in scoring average at 73.13 this year. Has a low round of 66, as we'll go back to the quickly to the number 1 green. This is Nick Budd of Georgia State with a birdie putt that he's going to roll in. Nice birdie to start things off for the junior from Woodstock, Georgia. Gets a little bit of a fist bump from Georgia State coach Joe Inman, former PGA player. Archer Price of Georgia Southern with his birdie putt here at the first. Senior from Gastonia, North Carolina, making his 4th conference tournament appearance, and his birdie putt's going to stop just off the left lip. He'll have a tap in there. Back to the number 10 green, Paul Gonzalez of UT Arlington. Freshman with a long run at a birdie here. That's going to come up just about a foot short to the right. He'll have a tap in for his par. He'll go ahead and clean that up. Logan Lockwood lining up his putt as we go back to the first, and Tanner Napier of Arkansas State, who hit this nice shot in there with his second. He's got this for a start-off birdie. 4-foot slider to the right, rolls it right in the heart, and Tanner Napier with a birdie to begin play here at the first. So our final groups have cleared through here at number 1, and they will head on as back to number 10, and rolling in his par putt is Logan Lockwood of Texas State. And now Tiago Lobo, freshman from Marcelo, Brazil, will be trying to do the same thing for Little Rock. These are the number 2 players in their team's lineup. Number 1s are out in the fairway, the last groups here at number 10. Rolling in that putt, they'll head on to the 11th. The number 1s down in the fairway here at number 10. Last groups still to come through. And as soon as that last group comes through, and there's go back to play at number 10, and A lot of people in trouble here off the tee as we've got to see a look here at the number 18 green, and that's where we'll be later on here at the Raven. This is the first of 3 rounds of play in the medal play portion of this. That will determine the individual champion and will determine our top 4 teams who will move on to match play competition, and that will be on Wednesday on our 4th and final day of coverage here from the Sun Belt Men's Championship. And as soon as we finish up that last group on number 10, we'll be changing our locations, and we'll be bringing you coverage from the par 3 6th hole and the par 4 15th hole. We're back at the 10th. And I think this was Justin Warren of Little Rock, who was well back in the trees, caught one of the trees apparently with a tee shot. And now we'll come up closer to the green. Tanner Gore of Texas Arlington, UT Arlington, is also found the woods here, but a lot closer to the green, as he'll now trying to decide how he will play this one. And so we'll go over to the other side of the green, or the other side of the fairway. This is Logan Davis of Texas State with his second shot. With his back pin location, he'll come up on the back edge. So he'll have an up and down opportunity at the 10th. And you can see the flag still blowing around. Look at the trees in the background as the winds are kicking up more and more as the day goes along. Every once in a while you can see some leaves and so forth flying by. And look at the tree limbs, how they're blowing. Raven course is tough enough when the conditions are nice. It can be really difficult when the winds start picking up. It's Tanner Gore of UT Arlington with a tough second shot here at the 10th hole. Junior from El Paso, Texas, has a couple of top 15s here in the conference tournament, bringing it over one of the trees, and it's going to come up and bounce just short. And he'll have a long up and down for his par. Pin is way in the back, the middle part of the green. As our final groups make their way up to the green here at number 10. So giving the opportunity to remind everyone that the updated scores will be on golfstat.com, where you can catch live stats on the entire tournament and look at how your favorite teams are doing. The stats just now starting to pop up. South Alabama with an early birdie from Peter Stalbo. He's 1 under. His team is 1 under par. Already 2 under is Caleb Masters of Troy, 2 under through 3 holes. Again, these scores just now getting underway, but you can see all those live scores on golfstat.com and also on a link through the Sunbelt site. And then later on today, you'll be able to find post-tournament information, post-round information, and a lot more at sunbeltsports.org. And make sure to remind all your friends to tune us in for the rest of today and for the next 3 days here at the Raven, as we'll bring you all the action from the Sun Belt Conference Men's Championship. Justin Warren of Little Rock, who caught the tree on the left that you see in the background with his tee shot, and his second shot up into the bunker, so he's hitting his 3rd here at the 10th. 11 times this year he was par or better. He had a top 10 finish, tied for 4th at one of our favorite tournaments, the Duck Commander Intercollegiate, where he shot a 70 in the middle round. Warren had to blast out his 3rd, and he's still going to be well short, as the ball must have plugged up a little bit in the bunker and the wet sand. So Justin will still have a long par putt here at the 10th. And speaking of long putts, Tanner Gore is just off the front edge. Now here's an idea of how long this putt is. This green is 45 yards deep, so that's 135 feet. And the pin is only 8 paces off the back edge. So take 135 and subtract 24. And he's left with a putt of about probably, my guess, is somewhere between 100 and 110 feet. That's why he's taking his time and looking at it. Not only that, but it's got a big break to it, as you see him planning on how it'll come out to our left, his right, and then break back toward the cup. So not only do you have to hit it firm, but you've got to get the right direction going on it, or else you're going to leave yourself in trouble to try to save par. Gore averaged 73.97 so far during the regular season. He finished 4th individually at the Cape Fear National Intercollegiate earlier this year when he shot 68, 75, 73 for an even par 216. Tied for 13th last year, and you see him get this one started, and he knew pretty much when he hit it that it probably didn't have enough on it, and he still has some work to do here for par. And now you can see by the pants leg and the flag how much the winds are really kicking up, and the 10th hole playing straight downwind today. So we'll keep an eye when players work their way back through. The players that started at the first, of course, will work their way back through here at the 10th, and we'll keep an eye to see how they'll play this on this 379-yard par 4, where if you get it going down the middle, narrow tee landing area, but if you get it going down the middle, you can really cut off some distance with this wind. Logan Davis is just off the back edge. You see his tee mark there. Again, a reminder that the players are playing lift, clean, in place today because of the overnight weather with the wet conditions. Before Davis hits his shot off the back fringe, it'll be Justin Warren who had to come out of the bunker, and this is for his par. And a long par putt for the junior from Picton, Australia. Spent his first 2 years at South Mountain Community College, where he was a first team Golf Coaches Association Junior College All-American and helped lead his team to a JUCO National Championship. His 4th shot is going to slide by the pin, and it's going to keep on rolling, catching that downslope, and it's going to roll almost all the way back to the fringe. And Justin Warren has this coming back, and this is for bogey. So a tough start for the Little Rock junior. Logan Davis is off the fringe, but before he does that, this will be the par putt for Tanner Gore of UTA. He was way in the front, and his first putt didn't get but about 2/3 of the way there. He's still got at least 20 feet here to try to save par. And it's a touch putt because it can keep going and it'll roll past the hole if you hit it too far past. So Gore almost has to lag that one up there, and he'll have a tap in for his par. And now it'll be Logan Davis's turn. Hit his second shot just off the back edge of the green. He'll have he's going to putt, take a roll at it, try to roll in a birdie from off the green. And hitting up the hill at it from that angle, so he can give it a wrap and make a run at rolling in a birdie. Junior from Humble, Texas, who led the team with a 73.13 stroke average, as his putt comes up a couple feet short. He'll have that to finish off for par. And now Justin Warren with a long bogey putt after finding all kinds of trouble here at the 10th. Found a tree on the left side with his drive, hit his second shot from under trouble over there into the bunker. Was short out of the bunker, hit his fourth shot to here, and now has to hit it back up the hill going for bogey, and slams this one past. Back up the hill, and so now he has about a 5-footer for a double bogey here at the 10th. And the dreaded 3 words in golf, you're still away. As this is for double bogey for Justin Warren to start things off at the 10th hole. Double bogey putt rolls in for Warren. Disappointed in his first hole, but at least he was able to make that double bogey putt. Now Tanner Gore will have this left for his bogey. Junior from El Paso with a bogey 5 at the 10th, and now Logan Davis, a couple feet left to negotiate for his par here at the 10th hole. As he finishes off his par, we'll now move over to the action at the 6th hole. We've had a couple of groups that have already gone through the par 3 6th. This is the third group coming through here at number 6. Number 6 playing at 203 yards today. Pin is in the front right. And this, of course, is the island green here at the Raven. And if you see the winds blowing in the back, now how difficult is this shot? 203 yards already. And in that kind of wind, number 6 is going to be an adventure for a lot of players here today. And look at our number 6 hole. You see, carrying the water. And that's not the only hazard here, as it's well bunkered on every side. The pin at number 6 is in the front right. So you know that front right bunker is going to come very much into play. It's a hard enough hole as it is, but they're playing it from the back tee today, 203 yards, and also playing it in a very stiff wind as Daniel Overus of Coastal Carolina, the junior from Vestas, Norway. And I won't even attempt to pronounce the school that he went to in Norway, but he is getting set to hit his tee shot here at the very difficult 6th hole. Daniel struggling a little bit already today. He was 3 over par through his first 3 holes, and that was because of a triple bogey 8 at the par 5 3rd hole. Otherwise pars to this point, and playing here at the 6th. And you see the pin on that front right, so that not only brings the front water into play, but it brings that bunker on the right side very much into play. Long iron for these players, playing at 203 yards. And his shot finding the middle of the green. Safe shot there, avoiding the trouble. He'll have a downhill putt going back up the green, but at least he is putting and he's dry here at the 6th. And today that's the goal. This will be Jason Mendel of South Alabama, senior from Norcross, Georgia. 4th appearance for Jason in the conference championships. See that low round he had this year, 67. That was at the Tiger Invitational. Mendel was even par through his first 3 holes today. He bogeyed the first. We saw that bogey back on the first, but then he birdied the par 5 3rd hole. Scoring average 74.33 this year. That's 5th on the South Alabama team. Tied for 13th individually last year in the conference championship. Shot 73, 73, 71. And his shot is missing front right. That's the danger area. And so I don't know if he's in the bunker. We'll hope that's all that he is, and he didn't catch the wet stuff on the front right of this, as Max Catherine, a freshman from France for UL Monroe. Top-ranked freshman in the conference as far as stroke average this year, 73.53. 15 rounds of par or better for the Frenchman, and he's also safely in the middle of the green, avoiding the trouble. So 2 out of the 3 finding the putting surface in this group, and we'll see where Jason Mendel's shot is when they work their way up to the green. And one thing that is unique about the 6th hole is you see the players getting in carts, which they don't normally do, but number 6 is the way the hole is set up, it's much more designed for cart play than it is for walking. As the cart, you have to go all the way around the water on the left side, and it's a pretty good hike. Then you have to go around the lake, and then you have to take the spectator bridge. You can see at the top of your screen, you see that cart path. Well, that's the only way to get from the tee to the green here. If you're in a cart, an electric cart, it's not a problem. If you're walking it, you've got to go all that way around and then come across that spectator or the participant bridge back there in the back of the green. But you see the heavy bunkers on both the left and the right sides here at number 6. So the players are being shuttled from the tee to the green at 6 to speed up pace of play. This is the number 3 groups coming through here at number 6, and in just a little while we'll also be bringing you some coverage from over at the par 4 15th hole, as we'll have the players. Some of the groups that started out at number 10 will be working their way toward number 15. Players starting on both 1 and 10. The top 6 teams in the pre-tournament seedings all starting at number 1, and the teams seeded 7 through 12 starting off at number 10. First of 3 rounds of medal play. Second round scheduled for tomorrow, starting at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. Third and final round of medal play starting Tuesday, also at 7:30 a.m. And then the top 4 teams will advance to a match play competition, and that is scheduled for Wednesday. Semifinals in the morning, and the championship finals in the match play will be held Wednesday afternoon. So 4 solid days of play here at the Raven for the Sun Belt Conference Men's Championship, and all these teams chasing the automatic bid into the NCAA championships that goes to the winning team. And of course, conference will likely have multiple teams taking part in NCAA tournament play. And we thought that Jason Mendel's ball was front right. He's actually front left. He is still dry as you see him walking up. That's Jason Mendel in the red shirt walking his way, pacing it off, taking a look at it. So he is safe there. Again, water and bunkers coming into play on both sides of the green. The bunker on the left a little bit further back, so Mendel has a chance at an up and down here to save par. The other two players with long birdie putts hit safely to the center of this green. This green is, again, a good size, 35 yards from front to back as part of that big island in the middle. But it's only 8 paces on to the front today, 8 paces off the front edge. Also only 5 paces from the right side. So it is tucked away very much front right today. Mendel led the South Alabama team last year in the conference tournament when he tied for 13th. He shot 73, 73, 71, plus 4, 217 score. Qualified for the Georgia State Amateur during the summer as his second shot is up. Nicely done from the front left edge. And the senior will have just a couple feet left for his par as we go back and look down from the number 6 tee box as our next group's waiting to hit. This is Max Catherine of ULM. 15 rounds of par or better this year. His best finish was a tie for 14th at the Northern Intercollegiate. Long birdie putt. And rolling it, just lipping around the right side. And Max thought he had that one for a long birdie here. He'll have a tap-in par. Even par through his first 3 holes today. Played the first 3 all at par. And Daniel Overis of Coastal Carolina can probably go to school a little bit on the previous putt, as he and Max Catherine were both just about in the same place. So Overis trying to take a lesson to see after seeing what that putt did. Overis 3 over par, as we said, had that triple bogey 8 at the par 5 third hole. Gets this one started, and it's going to stay out to the right. And he'll have a tap in as you see our next group that'll be on the tee when these guys finish putting out. Mendel, who was at the front left edge. And chipped up to there. Trying to finish off par here at These players have made a, and burns that one past the, just winks at the hole as it goes by, and a disappointing bogey for Jason Mendel here at the 6th after a solid second shot after his tee-ball missed the putting surface. So Daniel Overus, Norwegian, with a 73.86 average this year. Won the Cleveland Golf Palmetto Intercollegiate earlier this year. And Mendel will tap in for his bogey as we'll go back to the tee. And the number 2 players for these schools: Thad O'Beckney of Coastal Carolina, Rasmus Carlson of South Alabama, and Guillaume Fananel of ULM. A senior and a couple of sophomores, all of them with previous Sun Belt tournament experience. All of them have played in the tournament once. Fananel was 6th last year, tied for 6th. Carlson tied for 28th, and O'Beckney tied for 35th. So all of them making their second appearance in the conference tournament. And Carlson will be first to hit for South Alabama. Even par through his first 3 holes today. 4, 4, 5 on the first 3. He had a 71 in the opening round of the last tournament that South Alabama played before the league championships. That was at the old Waverly meet. His first shot on the left side might have caught that left side bunker. But a lot of green, at least for Carlson to work with. This will be Thad O'Beckney, senior from Wheeling, West Virginia. Tied for 35th last year. Opened up with a 72 last year in the conference tournament. Had a 73.33 stroke average this year. He was 12th at Old Waverly last week. And tee shot for O'Beckney. Comes up a little short, but looks like it stayed up. So he'll be looking for an up and down here as Guillaume Fananel of UL Monroe, sophomore from Lyon, France. Tied for 6th in last year's conference tournament. Shot 74 first day, 72 second day, and then a 69 in the final round to finish up 2 over 215. Fananel starts off his shot to the right, trying to bring it in and finding the middle of the green, a little bit closer than the guys from the last pairing. So he'll have a decent run at a birdie here at the 6th. And he'll jump in and take a ride around. Look over across the course, and our first look at the 15th hole today. 15, playing at a 298-yard par 4 set up today, so the big hitters can take a shot at driving this green. You'll see a couple balls out in the middle, and the group coming up to the 15th hole, the number 2 players for Troy, Louisiana, and Appalachian State. Dean Martin of Troy in the front left of your screen in the Cardinal shirt. Alex Burris of Appalachian State in the white shirt in the middle. Peter Hinnant of Louisiana in the red shirt, trailing the pack as these guys head up toward their second shots. You see our group number 14, 2 juniors and the freshman Hinnant. Their 3 teammates playing in the numbers 5, 4, and 3 positions have already come through here at the 15th. We'll be able to give you a few of their current scores as they make their way up. In fact, Dean Martin is 1 over par. He bogeyed the par 5 11th hole. Pars for everything since then. Peter Hinnant of Louisiana, he's also 1 over par. Bogeyed the first hole back on the 10th, but since then has parred. And Appalachian State's Alex Burris also 1 over. Also bogeyed the par 5 11th hole. So all 3 players in this grouping at 1 over through their first 3 holes today. See our action at the 6th and the 15th holes. Top right of your screen. At number 6, that's Thad O'Beckney. And back over here in the back, out of the bunker, that's Rasmus Carlson of South Alabama on the top right of your screen. Tied for 28th in last year's conference championships. Blast this one out, and now the green rolls away from you from there, so you can't easily let that shot get away from you. He'll have that left for pars. He's able to stop it on the putting surface. And now the front of the green, Thad O'Beckney of Coastal Carolina is, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but the winds are really kicking here at the Raven right now. See the water moving around, and can't see so much of the flag here, but you can in the trees as this one's a nice up for O'Beckney. Comes up a little bit short. He'll have that left for par. And now Guillaume Fananel. Found the middle of the green with his tee shot here on the 203-yard par 3 6th. Fananel a little bit closer than a couple of the other players in the last group that came through. So he has this long putt for a birdie here at the 6th. Putting back down the hill, and he's going to leave that one out to the right. He'll still have some work to do. He's got about 3-footer left for par here at the 6th, as we'll quickly switch over to the 15th. And that's Alex Burris with his approach shot. Rolls just past the flag and off onto the fringe, so he'll have an up and down here. And on the side, Peter Hinnant of Louisiana pushed his tee shot way to the right. Drivable par 4 today. It's set up at only 298 yards, so Hinnant, the freshman from Winston-Salem, will have this for his second shot. 3 over par, brings it in high with a flop shot and wasn't able to reach the putting surface. I don't know. Yes, he did. It rolled just past and a nice out. And now he'll have that little bit of a downhill run, only about 6 feet for a birdie here after being way to the right on his tee ball. Quickly back over to the 6th hole, and this is Fananel. Actually, Rasmus Carlson will be going to be first to hit from South Alabama. Now back to 15, and also with his tee shot out to the right is Troy's Dean Martin. And has to contend with the bunker also as he brings in a flop shot. This one's going to fly a little bit and go way over to the other side of the green. Not quite the result that he wanted from there, but a tough shot off the pine straw and with the overhanging limb and with the bunker. And Martin will have that left for a birdie here as quickly we'll go back to the 6th. And Fananel will have this to save par after his birdie putt swung out to the right. Nice par by Guillaume, the sophomore from Lyon, France. Back to the number 15 tee now. And this is Tripp Summerlin of Appalachian State. Drivable par 4, and he's taking out the driver and going at it. Looked like he hit it straight. Number 3 player to hit in this group. Back over to number 6. Nice saving putt for par for Thad O'Beckney, who is in the front of the green. And now Carlson will be trying to do the same. Runs in his putt for the number 2 players out of this group. Their teammates back on the tee here at the 6th. But quickly before that, we'll go out to the 15th. This is Caleb Masters of Troy. 2 under par through his first 3 holes today. He was the individual leader early. He birdied both the 11th and the 12th. And the 12th was the last report we got of him being 2 under par. Right now, tied for second individual in the early scores, Yannick Schutz of South Alabama birdied 3, or he's 3 under par through his first 3 holes today, including an eagle at the par 5 third hole. So this is Masters with his tee shot. I think he used a hybrid, laying up just a little bit for positioning here. And this will be Cole Kendrick of Louisiana, freshman from Natchitoches, as we'll go to the green here at the 15th. And the long putt for Dean Martin from Troy slides that one past, and he'll still have a little work to do for par here. As back to the tee, Cole Kendrick. Even par through his first 3 today. Birdied the par 5 11th, bogeyed the par 4 12th. Hits the driver here. Looks like he might be a little left. We'll check where his ball location is as we'll go back to the front side here at the Raven Golf Course. And the tee ball at number 6 on the par 3 for Luis Ruiz of Coastal Carolina. Tied for the individual title last year, lost out in a playoff. Junior from Atizapán, Mexico. Shot a 210 last year, 3 under par in the championships. And he's found the front left, maybe the bunker on the left side. As back to the 15th. A birdie putt for Peter Hennett, who is in the, pushed his drive to the right in the trees, but had a nice approach shot, a flop shot to this point, and a chance for birdie here, and rolls it past the right edge. Back to 6. Joe Garral of ULM finds the putting surface on the left side. So he'll have a long birdie putt. And back to the tee at number 6. before we do that, back to the 15th hole, and Alex Burris of Appalachian State can't believe that ball didn't break to the left, as he'll settle for bogey here. Quickly to the 6th, Yannick Schutz's tee shot here at the par 3. South Alabama sophomore. And he's going to be front left. Schutz, our individual leader right now, birdied the 2nd and eagled the par 5 3rd hole. Over to the 15th. And this is Dean Martin trying to save par here at the 15th. Rolls that one in, saving his par. Now, Peter Hennett will be trying to save par after he ran his birdie putt by a little bit. And their teammates playing in the number 1 position. You see them in the background making their way up to the green here at 15. And Hennett rolls in his par putt here at the 15th. This is a drivable par 4 today if you really catch it, but it's also playing some into the wind, so that might reduce that a little bit. And looks like that Cole Kendrick found the water on the left side, and he's having to drop, and of course that's going to roll back into the bunker, so he'll now place it wherever the ball did hit. So Kendrick will be hitting his 3rd shot here at the 15th after finding the hazard area. It's the number 1 players for these 3 schools here playing at the 15th hole. Last group of that, and you see our 15th hole. You see that water on the left side. But this hole can very much, when you play the tee up as they are today, really cuts down some of the, takes out all those bunkers that you see right in front of you on the landing area. Now, those bunkers in the back next to the green that's on the right side of your screen, those can come into play on any shot as the one on the left side. And the fairway also slopes toward the water on that side. But if you can get there, pin's in the middle right, so it's an accessible pin. Either whether you lay up, should be able to get it close if you lay up in the fairway, looking back down the tee, the bunker. An impressive set of bunkers looking back from that direction as Cole Kendrick gets set to hit his 2nd shot here at the 15th. Check that. He's hitting his 3rd shot here at the 15th because he did find the water hazard on the left. Kendrick's wedge coming in, and he's going to come up short there, and he's found the bunker in the front. So a tough hole for Cole Kendrick as he's in the bunker to hit his 4th shot. Back to the 6th hole. This is Luis Ruiz of Coastal Carolina, who found the left side bunker on this island green par 3 6th. But nice out there. The ball's going to take off rolling. It's going to roll down to that front edge again, and he'll have that for par. Back to the 15th. This is Caleb Masters. 2 under par for the day. Was working on a couple of birdies in a row at the par 5 11th and the par 3 12th. Yannick Schutz, our current leader from South Alabama, from the front left edge, has that one up, and he'll have just a tap in left for par here at the 6th. At the 15th, Masters with his tee ball to there on this short par 4. Before he does that, the second shot coming in from the other side out of a little bit of trouble from Tripp Summerlin of Appalachian State. And he's got a downhill putt left for a birdie. Caleb Masters in the Cardinal color shirt, junior from Headland, Alabama. Before he gets to hit, we'll go back to the 6th hole. And this is Joe Garau of ULM with a birdie putt after he found the middle of the green here on the par 3. Leaves that putt short. He's got about 5 feet left for par. Ruiz with another look from the other angle. Go back to 15. And this is the shot of Caleb Masters. And just chucks that one in the bunker. Not a good shot. He tried to just get it over the bunker and roll it up close. And so Masters currently in second place individually, but struggling here. He'll have that for his third shot. And now we'll go live as Masters now with the bunker shot. And in an awkward stance as it's on the upslope at the edge of the bunker. So tough shot for Caleb. Also doesn't have a lot of green to work with. Had to just blast it up in the air. It's going to come up short. And so he'll have that left for par. So after a nice drive, a couple of struggling shots for Caleb Masters, as we'll send you around the golf course here. Go back to the number 6 green. This is Luis Ruiz of Coastal Carolina. Rolls in his putt here for par after missing the green. So a nice save for Ruiz. There's one over par through his first 3 holes today. Joe Garau of UL Monroe has this for a par. At the bottom right of your screen, you see Cole Kendrick of Louisiana out of the bunker. And he has that left for bogey after he found the water on the left side. Top right of your screen, the par putt of Joe Garau rolls by, and he'll take a bogey here at the 6th. And now Yannick Schutz will have just a tap in left on the 6th, the current leader from South Alabama, for his par here. Bottom left of your screen on the 15th tee. That's Logan Pate of Little Rock. Schutz finishes off his par at the 6th. Bottom left of your screen, Inigo Benarin of Texas State with his tee shot on this par 4. And at the 15th, on the green, this is Tripp Summerlin. With his birdie putt, just slides it by. He'll tap that in for par. Summerlin already with a win this year, as back to the tee at 15. Benarin of Texas State just hit his tee shot. Now Jake Greenspoon of UT Arlington. third appearance in the conference championships. And he's got the driver out. The driver pretty much takes those bunkers that you see, the front bunkers, out of play, but landing area tightens up a lot down close to the green. But if you can keep it straight, you won't have very much left. In fact, some of the big hitters might be able to almost drive the green today. Starts that one out to the right, trying to bring it back in. Go to the 15th green. This is Caleb Masters, and this is for par after a big tee shot. Had a couple of shots to get to this point, and his par putt's going to slide by right, and he'll have that left for bogey, and he'll go ahead and tap that in. Now this will be for a bogey for Cole Kendrick, who found the water and then put his third shot into the front bunker. And that putt's not going to go that direction, as Kendrick's going to take a double bogey here at the 15th. So double bogey at 15 for Cole Kendrick, and Trip Summerlin will now try to tap in for par here. Sophomore for Appalachian State. Won the Patriot Invitational back in the fall as he finishes off his par. And that finishes up the groupings for these three schools. Go back to the number 6 tee, and we'll get a chance to see our players from our top 3 seeded schools coming into the championship competition: Arkansas State, Georgia Southern, and Georgia State. And our first group includes a couple sophomores and a junior: Matthew Cole of Arkansas State, Louis Acapulco of Georgia Southern, and Nathan Williams of Georgia State. We saw Matthew Cole birdie at the first hole, but then struggled on the second and third, took double bogeys both places. So he's currently 3 over par.
Still there. I think it's still there. Just let the gust go. The water coming out.
This will be Nathan Williams to hit first, the junior from Gainesville, Georgia, for Georgia State. Tied for 35th in last year's conference championship at 10 over 223. Williams one under through his his first 3 holes. He birdied at the first. We saw that birdie. You can see the wind blowing in the trees behind, and the wind pretty much in the player's face here on this 203-yard par 3 today. Williams starts out at it, and looks like it's maybe bending a little bit to the left. He's going to find the center of the green. Safe shot there, and he'll have a fairly long birdie putt, but he is putting. Matthew Cole of Arkansas State. Again, we saw that birdie that he made on the first hole, but then he took a double bogey 6 on the second and a double bogey 7 on the third, so stands at 3 over par. With a 73.36 stroke average, second on the Arkansas State team. He also starts it to the left and might have come up short of that bunker. Should be dry on the left side, but he'll have a pretty stiff up and down. We'll go to the 15th hole. Jake Greenspoon of Texas Arlington. First chance we've had to see these three schools come through. Just punched it out to that location. He's just in front of the bunker, so he'll have that up and down left for par, and a tricky little shot over the bunker as we'll go back to the 6th. And this is Lucas Alacolpi of Georgia Southern. Parred his first 3 holes today, 1, 2, and 3. 74.3 stroke average this year. And he's going to be at the front left edge. So all 3 players pretty much on the left side here at the 6th. Second shot at 15 for Inigo Benarin of Texas State. Sophomore from San Sebastian, Spain. .9 stroke average, 75.4 stroke average, that is. Second shot rolls it up nicely. Now it's going to catch that slope and it's going to roll right over to the edge. So probably not the shot that Inigo wanted right there, being that close after what was a big drive here at the 15th. So Jake Greenspoon in the bunker off the tee, another big drive. Guys can make a run at driving this green here today. It's set up at only 298 yards on the par 4. Greenspoon, a senior from Houston, playing in the conference tournament for the 3rd time. Played in 2015 and 2016, did not play in the tournament last year. Jake has a twin sister, Lauren, who's playing collegiate volleyball at Chattanooga. So a couple of student athletes from the family, as his shot out of the bunker just sort of flips it up out. He'll have that putt left for birdie here at the 15th. And now behind the green, Logan Pate flew the green with his second shot. Sophomore from Richmond, Texas, trying to get up and down to save par here. 74.57 stroke average this year for Pate. He was 1 under par through his first 3. He birdied the par 5 11th, and his shot's going to go long and going to have that coming back for par. So we'll go to the tee box at 15, and this is Daniel Durasic of Little Rock. Durasic's been struggling early. We saw him with that triple bogey at the 10th hole, and he followed that up with bogeys at both the 11th and the 12th. So he was 5 over par through his first 3. Dursick with the driver. Must have liked what he saw. See the very narrow landing area. Once you pass up those bunkers on the right, as Nick Thornton set to hit his tee shot. Thornton's got a couple of birdies already in his round today. Birdied the par 4 10th and the par 3 12th, sandwiched around a bogey at the par 5 11th. So he was 1 under par through his first 3 today. Second shot out of the front fringe for Lucas Alaculpi from Georgia Southern. And just have that little tap in left for his par. Back at 15 and on the tee, Alvaro Carroll Estrems of Texas State. And that's our group of number 4 players headed down toward the number 15 green, and we'll go down to the 15 green. This is Logan Pate, who was long out of the bunker with his 3rd shot, so this is coming back for par. Pate's par putt's going to stay out to the left, and he'll have that 18 inches left for a bogey here at the 15th. Jake Greenspoon of UTA. Senior from Houston, Texas. Looking at birdie here, and this one's going to slide by though, and going to go a little ways past. He'll have a little work to do for par, as does his playing partner Benerin of Texas State, who has that also left for par, as we'll go to the 6th. Josh Edgar of Georgia State. Now this is live for Jacob Barres. And that one's going to slide by. Saving putt for Jake Greenspoon of UTA. Now Inigo Benerin of Texas State. I think I said that was, I got my groups a little ahead of my groups again. That was Alaculpi of Georgia Southern, who finishes off for bogey here. And now Matthew Cole of Arkansas State will be trying to save par after missing on the front. Cole makes that putt. Second on the Arkansas State team this year, 73.3 stroke average. Back to the 15th, and in the fairway Alvaro Carroll Estrems of Texas State, who's pacing that one off. While he's calculating his shot, we'll go back to the tee at number 6. These are the number 4 players for their respective schools. Jacob Beyer of Georgia Southern has the honors here at the 6th. And he finds a putting surface on the left side. He'll have that left for his par as we go back to the tee. And Jacob Barres of the Czech Republic, a junior for Arkansas State. Played his first 2 years at Indian Hills Community College in Iowa. Starts his off to the left, and he's going to go well left, and we'll have to see what kind of shape he is in as back to the 15th hole. Nice approach for Alvaro Carroll Estrems of Texas State. Back to the 6th, and this is Josh Edgar, sophomore from Gold Coast, Australia for Georgia State. Edgar's even par through his first 3. He birdied the second, bogeyed the third. Number 6 playing at 203 yards, and Edgar's come up short and to the right. Might have found the bunker on the short right. Over to 15, Daniel Durasic of Little Rock with his second shot. He's going to spin it back, and he'll have that left for a birdie. So a couple of nice birdie chances here at the 15th in this group. Alvaro Carroll Estrems is in there tight for a birdie. Over on the right side, second shot for Nick Thornton, who hit his drive under the pine trees on the right, playing off the pine straw. Tough to get that one close with that kind of lie. The former Baylor player at UTA as a graduate student, and just can't get enough backspin on it coming out of the pine straw. It's going to roll to the back of the green. He'll have that left for birdie. Back on the 6th and in the drop zone, Jacob Barres of Arkansas State, who bounced out and found the water here at the 6th. First time we've had a player find the water hazard. And so he'll have to go back to the drop zone and hit what will be his 3rd shot. Barres was even through his first 3. He birdied the first and then bogeyed the third. And has this one come up short. It's going to stay dry, but he'll have that left for 4 here on the par 3. And now they'll shuttle that group of players around this roundabout way to get to the 6th. And we'll go back out to the 15th. This will be Nick Thornton from the back of the green for UT Arlington. Thornton had to play off of the pine straw on the right side up under some of the groves of pine trees that are all over the place here at the Raven. Ravens a Robert Trent Jones Jr. course, 6,900 yard par 71, and Robert Trent Jones called it a modern traditional. It was voted the best new course in Florida when it opened in 2000. It's pretty much very natural. It's got pretty much drama on every tee because of the layout. It's got large undulating greens all over the golf course, pretty much everywhere. Tournament hosted a PGA Champions Tour event, the Boeing Championships, in 2006 and 2007. So Thornton from the back of the green, a downhill putt, nice lag putt there, and he'll have a tap-in par. We'll quickly go back to number 6 as soon as Daniel Durasic finishes off his par here. Thornton with the tap-in bogey here, and now Durasic looking. Actually, that was par for Thornton, and now Durasic with a birdie attempt. And Alvaro Carlos-Strems of Texas State will be following with an even shorter birdie attempt. Slides that one by the right side, and Durasic will take a par here. Strems will have a much shorter birdie putt as we go back to the 6th. And we've got action, and it's not good action for Barres, as his shot from the drop zone plugged up, and he had to hit a provisional ball.
Yeah, so if you want to tell him.
So we'll have to get
The ball is safe.
a ruling on that, but
You can only see the very top.
with his plug, he might be hitting his 5th here. So Barres' shot did plug up in the front of the green here at 6. So he is chipping for 5 here. And he'll have that left for what we think is a 6 here at the par 3. After finding the water with his tee shot and having his drop shot plug up. From the vantage point we had out there, they said it was just a nasty plug, only about a third of the ball being even visible. And you can see that wind that continues to howl here at the Raven. Look at how it's blowing the flag right now as Jacob Beyer of Georgia Southern be lining up his shot at the 6th. Before he does that, though, Josh Edgar of Georgia State. Now they're playing lift, clean, in place, but that's only from the closely mowed areas, basically only from the fairways. So if you are in a hazard or in the rough or in any other kind of situation, you don't really have lift, clean, in place. And so he's having to drop here. So Edgar obviously found the water in the front too. Either that or he's in an unplayable lie over there. So Josh Edgar will also be hitting his 3rd shot. He'll be taking the drop here. And, of course, it's rolling back down into the hazard, so he'll be able to place it where the ball hit with the drop. But some struggles here on the 6th for this group. Barres of Arkansas State both found the water and also had to take a drop out of an unplayable plug lie. And now Edgar taking the drop, and he'll be hitting his 3rd from this location. Edgar came to this hole 2 over par. He was even through his first 3. He birdied the second, bogeyed the third, but he just took a double bogey at the par 4 fifth hole, and now he's in trouble here at the 6th. So Edgar with his third shot and didn't get the green, and he's still in the bunker at number 3. So a couple of tough holes for Josh Edgar of Georgia State as we'll head back to the 15th tee. You can hear the wind blowing in the background as Calvin Ross of Texas State. You can see the wind blowing the shirt around as he hits his driver at this short par 4. Looks like he's in good position as Aaron Guanlao of UT Arlington gets set to hit his, and this is the 4th shot on number 6 for Georgia State's Josh Edgar. Gets it out of the bunker, but he'll have that left for double bogey as Aaron Guanlao for UTA is on the tee. Playing in the conference tournament for the 4th time. Tied for 8th in 2015, tied for 8th in 2016, and then tied for 21st last year. Back to the 6th hole, and a long putt is rolled in by Jacob Beyer of Georgia Southern. So nice birdie for Jacob, and he needed that. He was 4 over par through his first 5 holes. Bogeys at the 1st and the 5th, and a double bogey at the 4th, so that may kickstart Jacob Beyer's round. Saving putt there for Barres for a 6 as we go back to the 15th. This is Aaron Ramos of Little Rock. He's hitting driver. And the struggles of Josh Edgar as he holes out there after leaving one in the bunker as he holes out for double bogey. Look back toward from the 6th green back toward the number 6 tee. And there's the shot from the 6th green, or 6 tee, looking back toward the number 6 green. Very picturesque hole. The island green here. See a little bit about the Raven course that we talked about just a moment ago. Robert Jones Jr. designed it. Takes advantage of all the natural location here with there. A lot of wetlands area, a lot of pine tree area. Some marshes in between the holes. As Jake Story of Georgia Southern with his tee shot here at the 6th. And that's a nice one. That's about as close as we've had one all day. Carried right over the flagstick. Safely there on the green. He'll have about 12 feet for a birdie. And birdies have been very hard to come by here at the 6th with the wind today. Severin Solar of Georgia State, a junior from Munich, Germany. 1 under par through his first 3 holes today. He working on a couple birdies at the 2nd and the 3rd after he bogeyed the par 4 first hole. And Solar's tee shot coming in on the right side this time, but he's on the putting surface. And Zanluka Stern, the sophomore from Kranj, Slovenia. Freshman of the year in the league last year when he tied for 25th in the conference tournament. This year, stroke average 73.68. Starts his tee shot also out to the right and comes up short right. Don't know if he's caught that bunker, but there have been some players who have had some struggles from that location, most notably in the very last group, Josh Edgar of Georgia State. So we'll see where Gianluca Stern wound up with his tee shot, as the players will again shuttle around from the number 6 tee to the number 6 green. And I got to watch those carts there. It's like, can be an adventure. And now I think, yeah, it looks like Severin Soller is just going to walk it the rest of the way. You see number 6, that island green. When the wind blows and it plays from the back, this can be a very difficult hole. And you see some of the players who have struggled on the edges of that island. Bunker on the left will still come into play some, even though the pin today is pretty much front right, about where the location you see there on that video. But a couple of nice shots here on the 6th as part of this group. Really nice shot for Jake Story of Georgia Southern. That's about as close as anybody has been all day long. No birdies so far all day on this, the 6th hole. And that's not a surprise with the amount that the wind is blowing and playing it from the back, and even with that tough pin location front right, that brings a lot of trouble into play. We'll go to 15, and this is Aaron Guanlao in the fairway. Nope, check that. This is no, that is Guanlao. Senior from Hazlet, Texas, playing in the conference tournament for the 4th time. And his second shot, spinning it back, and he'll have that left for a birdie. Back out in the fairway, Aaron Ramos of Little Rock with his second shot. This is pretty much the location you want to be with the driver off the tee, unless you're really absolutely trying to go for the green, and that can bring some more trouble in. So Ramos with his short wedge for the freshman from Goodyear, Arizona. And his will stop, and it won't check up, and it's going to roll off the back edge. He'll be looking to up and down off the fringe for a par. Third player in this group, Calvin Ross of Texas State. Hit a big drive down to this location. Ross had a 64 in the opening round of the Prices Give 'em 5 invite. Finished 3rd in that tournament. That one's going to roll back down the hill just a little bit, and he'll have a run at a birdie. At the tee at the 6th hole. Reminder, this is the first of 3 days of medal play here in the Sun Belt Conference Men's Championships. The top 4 teams will advance to a final day on Wednesday, and that will be match play, as we'll play the 1 against the 4 and the 2 against the 3, and then a championship match play match that afternoon. On the number 6 green, this is Severin Soller of Georgia State. His birdie putt attempt is going to slide by the left lip. See our group that is on the green here at number 6. These are the number 3 players for these 3 schools, the senior, a junior, and the sophomore. This is Jake Story of Georgia Southern, tied for the individual championship last year, lost out in the playoffs, has his putt just slide by the right lip, and he'll have a couple feet coming back for par. Story's 1 under par through the first 3 today. He birdied the first and the third, bogeyed the second. Soller has about a 3 to 4 footer left for par. Over to the 15th, Aaron Ramos of Little Rock with his birdie putt from the back edge, slips it out. Made a good run at it, and he'll tap that in for par. Back to the green at the 6th. And Jake Story of Georgia Southern taps in his par. Back to 15, and finishing off is Aaron Ramos for par. At 6, Zanluca Stern with his short bit for his par at the 6th. On the tee at the 15th. This is Logan Lockwood of Texas State. And down to the green for teammate Calvin Ross. Has that putt just slides by the right. And Ross will have that for par. Texas State right now is tied for second in the team race early. Back to the 6th tee, top left of your screen. This is Stephen Fisk of Georgia Southern, defending individual champion. With his tee shot at the 6th. Bottom right, Aaron Guanlau's birdie putt slides by for UTA, and now he'll stop and take another look at that one. Good run at a birdie there. Bottom left of your screen, Paul Gonzalez of UTA getting ready to hit his tee shot at the 15th. Sixth tee, Max Herman of Georgia State just hit his tee ball on the par 3. And now Joel Wyndon of Arkansas State. All 3 of these players in this group on the 2 top parts of your screen of all making at least their 3rd appearance in the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Bottom left, Paul Gonzalez of UTA with his tee shot on the par 4, short par 4 15th. They were waiting to see because apparently a couple of guys are going to try to go for the green here, at least one. They're waiting for the green to clear at 15. Joel Wyndon of Arkansas State, top left of your screen, and finds the putting surface here at the 6th. Tiago Lobo of Little Rock, bottom left of your screen, hitting his tee ball on the 15th, the freshman from Marcelo, Brazil. And that is our next to last group headed down the 15th fairway. As you see, a little bit of an overcast day here at the Raven with the wind blowing. Gives us a chance to take a quick look at the current team scoring. Again, very early. Most teams just threw 5 or 6 holes, but Georgia State right now the team leader. They're 2 under par early. Texas State and Georgia Southern are tied for second place, both of them at even par. UT Arlington is at 1 over. South Alabama and Appalachian State both 3 over. Coastal Carolina +4, Little Rock +5, Arkansas State and Troy +6, ULM +9, and Louisiana +10. That's the team scoring right now. Again, most of these through maybe 5 or 6 holes. Individual leader, there's a tie for first. Nathan Williams of Georgia State and Alvaro Carroll Estrems of Texas State. They are both 2 under par. Both of them have played 6 holes so far, also at 2 under par. Yannick Schwetz of South Alabama and Tripp Summerlin of Appalachian State. So right now a 4-way tie. No, now just updated, make that a 5-way tie as Tanner Napier of Arkansas State just went to 2 under par. So we've got 5 players all sitting at 2 under through about 5 or 6 holes. So you can keep up with all the action of the live stats on golfstat.com, and also a link through the Sunbelt side as we'll go back to the 6th green. This is Stephen Fisk of Georgia Southern, last year's individual champion. Shot 3 under 210 and was won a 4-way playoff for that individual title. Right now, Fisk, last score we reported, or was reported to us, he was 1 under par. He had birdied the par 5 3rd hole. Go over to the 15th quickly, and some trouble there for Tiago Lobo. No, check that. That's not Lobo. That's Logan Lockwood of Texas State. So we'll go back to the 6th, and the chip shot just coming up on the side of the cup. That was Max Herman of Georgia State. So he'll have that for a tap-in par. Back out to the 15th, and Logan Davis of Texas State had to drop. He was in a hazard area. Found the water over there. Unable to play it, so he'll be hitting his 3rd shot. Back to the 6th. This is Stephen Fisk. Georgia Southern about to hit his 2nd. He's got an individual win this year. He won the Auto Trader Collegiate Classic earlier this season. He also tied for 3rd at the Warrior Princeville Mackay tournament in Kauai, where he shot that brilliant 60 in his 2nd round. Chips this one up. Nice touch on that one. That's going to wind up less than a foot from the hole, and Fisk will have a tap-in par here at the 3rd. At the 6th, rather. Back out to the 15th, and this is Logan Lockwood with his 3rd shot after his drive caught the water, and he comes up short with his 3rd. So some struggles for Logan Lockwood of Texas State here at the 15th. Back over to 6, Joel Wyndon of Arkansas State with a long birdie attempt after finding the putting surface. And that one's going to slide by about 3 feet on the left side, and he'll have that coming back for par. At the 15th, Paul Gonzalez of UT Arlington, freshman, hitting his second shot. He's 1 under par through 3 holes. Back to number 6, and finishing off his par is Joel Wyndon. And Stephen Fisk will do the same thing as we go back and pick up Paul Gonzalez's second shot at the 15th. He's going to roll a little pass to go onto the fringe, and he'll be looking at that downhiller off the putting surface for birdie. Stephen Fisk of Georgia Southern cleaning up his par here at the 6th. Slick downhill putt there. Even though it was short, just not taking any chances with that one. And we'll go back to the 15th. The second shot of Tiago Lobo of Little Rock. His drive found the bunker here in the front. And his second's going to go long, as he's going to go bunker to bunker. And he'll be in the back bunker now to hit his third shot. Check that. That was Logan Lockwood of Texas State. And final group of these 3 schools coming here to the 6th hole. Number 1 players for these 3 schools in this tournament: Tanner Napier of Arkansas State and Archer Price of Georgia Southern, both seniors. Nick Budd of Georgia State, the junior. All 3 of these players with a 73.1 or lower average in that final group. This will be the 3rd shot for Logan Lockwood, and still struggling here at the 15th. Just barely gets it out of the bunker and is on the fridge of the green, and this will be for a 4. At the 6th tee, trying to decide a club selection, which has got to be difficult in the way the winds are right now, as Tanner Napier gets set. Napier tied for the lead, 2 under par. He's got 3 birdies and a bogey on his card already. He birdied the 1st, birdied the 3rd, and birdied the 5th. Just a birdie just a moment ago, and he's got the box here at the 6th after bogeying the par 3 4th hole. So Napier stands at 2 under par with 3 birdies already. Tied for 6th here last year. And he's found the left side. Don't know if he's far enough to get to the bunker. Over to 15, Paul Gonzalez of UT Arlington with his 3rd shot. Logan Lockwood will be lining up his putt. As on the 6th hole, this will be Nick Budd of Georgia State getting set to hit his tee shot here. Junior from Woodstock, Georgia. Top 10 here last year, finished tied for 10th. Shot 216, 3 over par. Budd 1 under par for the day through his first 3 holes. Now updating, he's even par through 5. He bogeyed at the 4th and then parred the 5th. He birdied the very first hole. We saw his birdie earlier in our coverage. This will be Archer Price of Georgia Southern. 1 over par through 5 holes today. Also bogeyed at the 4th. Looking to finish in the top dozen for the 3rd straight year here at the Conference Championship. As our players will head down from number 6 from tee to green and make that long trek over there. While they do that, we'll go give you a look at action at the 15th hole. Bottom left, that's Justin Warren of Little Rock, about to hit his tee ball. Bottom right, Logan Lockwood of Texas State, trying to save bogey here. And this is the tee ball from Justin Warren, as Lockwood able to roll in his bogey putt, and now Gonzalez has that left for par. Gonzalez 1 under par for the day, had a birdie at the par 3 12th. And he stays 1 under. We'll go to the tee box, and Tanner Gore of UT Arlington, his teammate, getting set to hit his tee ball. These are the number 1 players for these 3 schools. About to tee off here at 15. Gore hitting the driver. He likes it, and the last group will be headed down the 15th fairway. Our final group, Tanner Gore of UTA, Justin Warren of Little Rock, and Logan Davis of Texas State. 3 juniors playing in the final group for their 3 schools today. So we've got our final groups on the way to the green at both 6 and 15. And as soon as we finish our coverage here at 6 and 15, we'll be heading over to our locations at number 9 and number 18, where we'll bring you coverage for the rest of the day here on the first day of action here at the Sunbelt Men's Golf Championships. As you look down from behind the 15th green toward the 15th tee, and now a shot from the number 6 green, as looking back toward the number 6 tee, as the players from Arkansas State, Georgia Southern, and Georgia State being shuttled down from the number 6 tee. And you see that again, our final group of the day. And they're making their way out to the number 6 green right now. And it looks like Archer Price and Tanner Napier both over on the left side. Napier looks like he'll be first to hit, standing over his ball. But both of them over walking around the bunker. I don't know who might have caught the bunker. We'll try to find out. But this is Archer Price. Must be in the bunker as he's stepped further back to hit his second shot. That island green just because you're on the island doesn't mean you're safe. There's bunkers on a lot of sides and a very undulating green as Price's bunker shot's going to come up short, and he'll have that work left for par here at the 6th. Pinned very much at the front right. Tanner Napier from in front of the bunker be looking to pitch up. Tanner Napier, as we said, 2 under par with birdies at the 1st, 3rd, and the 5th as he hits his second shot here at the 6th hole. And rolling that one up. Nice lag. He'll have just a couple feet left for par here at the 6th. And once again, a reminder that as soon as we finish play here at number 6, and we'll also finish up at number 15 as we go there right now at just about the same time. As soon as we finish the 15th, we will be taking a break, and we'll be headed to the 9th and the 18th holes, where we will bring you the rest of today's coverage as action will continue on day 1 of the Sun Belt Conference Men's Championship. You can also keep up live on both Facebook and on our YouTube to keep up with all the action, and we'll be back with action later on in just a little while after a short break. And remember, you can like us on Facebook, and you'll get a notification when we'll be back up live and back to action as we'll go back to the 6th. This is Nick Budd of Georgia State with his birdie putt, and slides left and slides back a little bit to the right. He'll have that left for his par, as we got 3 par putts coming on the 6th and out to the 15th. This is Justin Warren of Little Rock. Justin's 2 over par was 2 over through 3 holes, still 2 over. Double bogey the 10th, birdied the 11th, and then bogeyed the 12th. But he's got that up there for a birdie chance here at the 15th. Archer Price of Georgia Southern on the 6th green has this left for par. Had to come out of the left side bunker. And Price's par putt slides past the left lip. So he'll bogey here at 6 as we go to the 15th. And the second shot of Logan Davis of Texas State will go past the cup. He'll have this downhill breaker for birdie as Tanner Gore, big tee ball to this location. And he's got this left for his second. Gore 2 over par through his first 3 today. His shot goes past, and it'll come back this way. Tanner Napier of Arkansas State finishing off his par here at the 6th. And Nick Budd will look to do the same. Budd even par through his first 5, looking to add to that par string, and knocks that one home. So Archer Price of Georgia Southern finishing off with a bogey here, and they'll head over to the 7th hole, and we'll go back to the 15th. in our last group on the 15th hole. This is Logan Davis of Texas State looking straight at the camera. Tanner Gore with a birdie putt. Once again, after these players finish play here at the 15th, and it will actually be Justin Warren of Little Rock who will be first to putt here. Once the players finish here at 15, we'll be setting up for our final locations of the day at number 9 and number 18, where we will finish play for all of the players that will be coming in. Get a chance to catch them at the ends of their rounds and update you on the scoring, and you'll be able to also see that update on golfstat.com. But we will have a break before we do come back to play at the 9th and the 18th, and you'll get a chance to catch up there. If you're watching us on our Facebook, you can like us there, and you'll get a notification on when we'll come back to live action, as well as on do the same on YouTube, as Justin Warren's putt going to come up short. He's going to break off to the left. A lot more break than he thought in that one. So we'll have a little bit of work left for par here. Now it'll be Tanner Gore. Logan Davis will finish that up first. Davis had a double bogey 7 at the par 5 11th and also bogey the 12th, so he was 3 over. So stays at 3 over with the par here at the 15th. Tanner Gore 3 over par through, check that, 2 over par through his first 3 holes today. Birdie putt's going to roll right on the right edge and look at it as it goes by and won't fall. So Tanner Gore will take a par here at the 15th hole. And Justin Warren of Little Rock will be trying to finish up with his par here. We will be taking a break just as soon as this putt falls, so we'll be taking a little bit of a break while we reset things at the 9th and the 18th holes. So reminder, on Facebook and YouTube, you'll get a notification when we come back to play here, as we will finish up our action here at the 15th, and we'll be taking a break, but we will be back soon with more coverage of the Sun Belt Conference Men's Golf Championships live from the Raven at the beautiful Destin Golf and Beach Resort near Miramar Beach, Florida. Overcast day, as our coverage will resume shortly. We'll be back on the 9th and the 18th holes, and we'll have all the players finishing up on 9 and 18. Back in just a little bit with more action here from the Sun Belt Conference Golf Championship, so stay tuned.